Evening, Toastmaster. I haven't had a chance to unwind. I literally just locked my PC and ran over here, so I'm a bit flustered. I apologize. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm here to talk to you about a very near and dear concept to my heart, and that concept is the concept of hope and home. So it's actually home. I don't know why I said hope, I'm sorry. Concept of home. So coming up from Korea to the States to Singapore, I've had many homes. And we're all very familiar with the saying, home is where the heart is. And that rings true to a lot of people. But for me, I quickly realized that it doesn't really hold true. And here are the reasons why. So I briefly mentioned that I have had multiple homes because of extenuating circumstances, family, education, job, and etc. I'm always on the go, moving 1,000 miles per hour, so I don't really have a chance to create a nest anywhere. And so I realized at one moment in my life that there's always this feeling of longing in my heart. I didn't really know what it was. I don't think I was mature enough to know what it was, but it was a panging in my heart. Like I needed to belong somewhere, but I didn't know where. And I always missed something, but I didn't know what I missed. I think I finally opened my eyes about a year ago, so it took quite a long time because I spent more than half my life in the States and just 3 short years in Singapore. I was traveling and I landed back in Changi Airport. I was getting a taxi and there was this feeling that overcame, this feeling of peacefulness. I didn't die, it was just a feeling of calm and peace that I wasn't really familiar with yet. And so I thought, that's quite strange. I don't really know what that is. There's hustle and bustle all around me, kids screaming, people everywhere, but I had this overwhelming sense of peace. And so I got in the taxi and I arrived home. I dropped my bags and I don't know how to describe it, and I don't want to use too many words to describe it because that's not what the project point is. So I'm going to try to use as little words and as simple a word as possible, and that word is right. It just felt right. So that's when I realized that it doesn't matter where you're from, and it doesn't matter where you have your heart exactly, because your heart can be everywhere. As you saw in Harry Potter, Voldemort was able to cut his in 7 different pieces. So for us, we're everyday superheroes. We can cut our hearts into thousands of pieces and leave it in thousands of different places. So it's not necessarily where your heart is, but it's where the familiarity of your surroundings is, where your stuff is, to use a common term. So looking around my room, my bed, my things, I've had my suitcases, my 4 suitcases that I brought from New York. Do you know how hard it is for a girl to stuff her life into 4 suitcases? It is extremely difficult. I'm thinking about writing to the Guinness World Book of World Records, because I think it's award winning. So just looking around, I thought, this is where I belong. This is where home is. So I wanted to impart a little bit of my sense of peace to everyone, because I know that we're all in the same predicament. We don't really have a home. Everyone's an expat, or they have family somewhere else, their parents are somewhere else, their jobs are somewhere else. But you can really create a home anywhere you are. If you're around things that you're familiar with seeing, if you're around people that you're familiar with interacting, I think home can be anywhere. So home is where your stuff is. I hope that everyone can feel at home wherever they're going tonight or wherever they are today. Mr. Toastmaster.